let us talk about premenstrual dysphoric disorder. You know, the disorder that makes you suicidal every month before your period? Yeah, that's the one. It's been a minute since my last video, and I still got more to say, so here we go. You know what? That glare is gonna drive me crazy, so let's just not. I'll just be blind. Also, yes, let's just get it out of the way. I have a fake tattoo on my eye. Yes, it's there. Anyways. Alright, so now I try to raise awareness for PMDD as much as possible because no one really knows much about it. I didn't know what it was until a few years ago, even though I've had it pretty much since I started bleeding out of you-know-where. But there's still so many things that people just don't quite get, and I'm not okay with it. And so I'm gonna try to get it through some of your heads right now and tell you all the things that I wish people knew about PMDD. So the first one, and probably the most important one, is that it is not PMS. Let's say it one more time. It is not PMS. Let's say it again for those in the back. It is not PMS. I'm sorry, what was that? Did you say it's PMS? No, it is not. Wait, can you say that again? I still didn't hear you. Oh, that's okay. I'll repeat it. It is not PMS. It is not PMS. It is not PMS. Hey, you know what PMDD is? It's not PMS. That's what it is. All right, now that I got that out of the way, let me also say, it is not bipolar disorder either. Let's hear that one again. It is not bipolar. Let's say it with a little background vocals this time. It is not bipolar. I'm sorry, did you say you don't know what PMDD isn't? Because it isn't bipolar. However, this is what women almost always get diagnosed as when it comes to PMDD. Women are always either misdiagnosed and told they're bipolar, or it's just shrugged off and it's because it's just PMS. No, it's not. It's not. Get it through your brains, guys. Does PMS make people suicidal? No. Does bipolar disorder hit like clockwork every month at the same time? Also no. So why are we saying that they are them? Just because it has premenstrual in the beginning of the name does not make it the same. And just because we have suicidal thoughts and mood swings does not mean it's bipolar. Okay? Okay. So let's just all accept that it is a completely different thing. Okay? Okay, all right, now that we know that it is not bipolar disorder and that it is not just normal PMS, let's continue. The second thing I wish people knew is that we cannot control it. PMDD is literally your brain having an allergic reaction to your own body. Can't control it, sorry. And it can be really frustrating because people just expect you to get over it and pull yourself out of it, and it's like, it's not how it works. I wish I could, but I really can't. It'll just hit out of nowhere and it happens so fast and I can't stop it. And people will always try to tell me well, what's something that you can do that'll make you feel better? And it's you don't understand, nothing will make me feel better. I just have to write it out. There's nothing you can do that will make me feel better. It's like my brain is just exploding. It is fighting itself. It is like two personalities battling for dominance, and PMDD is gonna win because it is much stronger. The best way I think to describe it is it's very similar to the Hulk. The Hulk comes out when it wants, and it comes out with a vengeance. That is PMDD. You can't control it once it starts to come out, and then once he goes away, Bruce has to deal with the damage that Hulk did and try to figure it out. That is what it's like having PMDD. It's like having this monster inside of you that will come out no matter how hard you try to push it down. People just don't seem to get that. They think it's just like PMS or just having, just being moody, and it's not. It's very, very difficult. It's kind of like a cold. When you're starting to get sick, yeah, you can take medications for it and try to fight it off, but once it gets there, you just have to write it out. PMDD is the same. I can try to take things to make it better. I can try to take all the medications or whatever, but at the end of it, I still have to just write it out. I can't stop it once it's started. We try to hide it because we have no choice, but it is very hard, and when we're showing it is because it's too powerful for us to hide it. We can't hide it because it's literally just pouring through our veins, just all this despair and depression and all of that, and we can't stop it. Attacks also happen very fast with no warning. I will literally be fine, having a great day, chilling, and then I'll be crying on the floor wishing I was dead. Now this one I really want to drill into everybody's brains. There is no cure. None. But have you tried working out? Have you tried taking supplements? Haven't you tried meditating? This isn't weight loss. A walk around the block and an apple isn't gonna make things better, okay? Stop trying to say that these things will cure it when there is no cure. There's none. Doctors have no idea why this disorder happens or how to stop it. They don't. They are so clueless. So what makes you think that me just exercising more is gonna stop it? But what about getting some extra sunshine? What about taking a bubble bath with essential oils? I swear to God, if one of you try to come at me with that, I will snap you in half. It frustrates me so hard when women who have PMDD or claim to have PMDD will then come at you with, well, I was completely cured after I started doing a gluten-free diet. And so if you would just do a gluten-free diet, you'd be cured too. I'm sorry, but when did one treatment work for everybody? Oh, that's right. Never. Because of that attitude, we don't have a cure. You are making it harder for us to get a cure when you go around preaching that it's as easy to fix as changing your diet and getting more exercise. Why would doctors try to find a cure if the cure is as simple as getting exercise and going outside? They're not going to take us seriously if they don't understand how serious this is and how things like that aren't going to help. If that works for you, great. But guess what? It doesn't work for everybody else. You want to know something? When I was in the worst of my PMDD, when I was wanting to kill myself for weeks on end, every month, not knowing if I would even make it to my 28th birthday because I literally thought I was gonna kill myself before then. I got admitted into a mental hospital, all that jazz. Do you wanna know what I was doing? I was running 3 to 5 miles almost every day, training for a marathon. I was getting out of the house in the sunshine. I was doing all that, and guess what? I was in the worst of it. I wanted to die. So do not try to come at us who can't find help and tell us that the cure is just as simple as taking some CBD oil or some magnesium, because that is not the case, and that attitude is never going to get help for those of us who are suffering. And I'm so sick of people trying to undermine this disorder. It just genuinely pisses me off. And that is why I make these videos, because you need to know how serious this is. Women are killing themselves due to this disorder. Do you understand that? They are killing themselves. Why isn't anybody taking that seriously? Oh, because if they would have just exercised and ate better, it would have fixed them, right? How about we stop with that and actually look at it as what it really is, and it is a debilitating disorder that has no cure, and doctors need to look into it more so we can get a cure, so women can stop suffering. There is nothing that pisses me off more than when I'm trying to find help and I'm talking about how I just don't want to live a second longer, and someone comes in and goes, well, like, have you tried like taking more vitamins? What? I just poured my heart out to you about how I've been fighting this and paying hundreds and thousands of dollars to doctors who just can't help me, and you really think vitamins are gonna be the cure-all? Like, oh my God. Oh, it just aggravates me. Now, if those things do work for you, great. That's great. I'm happy it works for you. But don't go around acting like it's going to work for everybody else as well, because that is not how life works. That is not how human bodies work. Everybody is different, and if we keep saying that this disorder is an easy fix, we are never, ever going to get a cure. I mean, they can't even figure out if they want to label it a mental disorder or not because, yes, it's in the head, but technically it starts in the ovaries. So which is it? Do you go to a psychiatrist or do you go to a gynecologist? Which one is it? The psychiatrist will send you over to the gynecologist and the gynecologist will send you back over to the psychiatrist. So if doctors can't even figure out who should be taking care of this disorder, what makes you think that something as simple as changing your diet is going to fix it? This isn't just something that you can wish away by free will or out exercise. That's not how this works. And I'm tired of people acting like it is because it is a very serious condition. And I want answers. I want doctors to stop looking at me like I'm an idiot when I bring this up to them. I want them to stop denying me the treatment that I want and know will help because they think that their one paragraph they read in medical school tells them everything they need to know. I'm tired of them trying to just up my antidepressants because they don't know what to do with me. Now, I'm not trying to say people shouldn't do those things. Obviously, exercise and eating well, drinking water, getting outside, those are all healthy for you. Those are all good for you. But stop acting like that's going to fix this problem because it's not. You aren't going after the source. The ovaries will continue to do their damage no matter what. It is extremely insulting that you think our pain is so small that it can be changed by those little things. It is much deeper, much more complex than that, and we need answers, and we need them soon. Women's health in general is severely overlooked, and we always get told to just exercise or get over. No, that is all crap. That is all crap. Clearly, down there is a very complex thing that doctors don't even have the slightest idea about. So let's start looking at the source, okay? The next thing I want people to know, and this is a very hard thing to come to terms with, but it is true. Who I am during PMDD, it's not me. I'm not who I am during PMDD. Like, somebody get Mariah Carey, because I don't know her.
Die kenne ich nicht.
I can't even remember what I always did. I remember the big picture. I remember how I had an episode and how I cried and all that, but I don't always remember the things that I said, and I don't always realize what I'm doing until the next day. And then I look back and I'm like, that's awkward. I always try to say that it's like having two minds inside this one brain, and they are just fighting. One is PMDD and one is the real me, and it makes it very complicated to know who I really am, because on one hand, yes, I am not who PMDD makes me, but it is also a part of me. You almost don't know who you are because there's two sides of you and you have equal time with them. PMDD lasts for a lot of us for the majority of the month. I only get about a week and a half every month where I'm feeling okay. The rest of the month, I am having anxiety, I'm having depression, I'm having pains, I'm having all kinds of things. So it's very hard to deal with having that thing that is a part of you for so much of your life, but it's also not who you are, and you know that's not who you are, but it takes over you. It is a very difficult disorder to live with. It tricks you because you'll have your good times and you'll think, okay, I'm making progress, this is good. And then all of a sudden, it'll just hit you and the Hulk will come out and you can't bring him back in. He decides when he wants to come back in. And then when he does, you're left with all the damage. You're left staring at all the broken things and you have to somehow fix them. The last thing I want people to know about this disorder is that it is very, very, very hard to find good treatment. Like I mentioned, a lot of doctors haven't heard of it. The ones that have heard of it only got a small training when they were in medical school like 10 years ago, and they've never bothered staying up to date on the research. And so they're stuck in their ways, thinking it can only be cured by antidepressants and birth control, when that's not how it is. Antidepressants and birth control fails a lot of us. Some of us have been through multiple birth controls, multiple antidepressants, and it still doesn't stop it. I tried to stop my periods with birth control because I thought that would make it go away. If I don't have a period, I won't have PMDD. Right? Wrong. It was awful. I gained like 20 pounds in like a month. I bled for 2 weeks. Like, it was just horrific. So it can be very hard to find a doctor who is willing to think outside the box or who is willing to listen to you. I have been trying to get a hysterectomy because I'm just so tired of this, and I've never wanted children, and I also have a lot of physical pain with my period, and doctors just will not even slightly entertain the idea. I'll tell them, like, I know people who had a hysterectomy and it changed their life for the better, and they don't even listen. I will be screaming at them, bawling my eyes out, telling them that this disorder is eventually going to cause me to die, and it's like they don't even hear me, and it is extremely frustrating. The treatment options we have are very few. The first line of defense is usually birth control and antidepressants. What happens if those don't work? Literally, if you look up PMDD treatments, it goes like antidepressant, birth control, a chemical menopause, and then hysterectomy. We have 4 options. One of them doctors don't even want to give to us, even if we do want it. One of them is extremely expensive, and they all have very hard effects on your body and mind. That's it. That's the only answers we get. They were developing a drug for this, or trying to, and they stopped production because they were finding that it wasn't working. The small glimmer of hope that we had vanished, and now we're just stuck at square one, still not knowing how to cure this. So it can be very difficult because people will look at you as if you're not trying. They'll say, "Oh, have you tried going to the doctor?" "Yeah, I've been to 5. So basically what I'm hoping with this video is that people look at PMDD in a more serious light and realize that we aren't just moody. We aren't just having lady problems. This is a very serious, very real thing, and the options out there for us to help us are not good. I personally want a hysterectomy, and I'm trying very hard to go that route. But for a lot of women, that is a very difficult thing because they want children and haven't had children yet. And there's a lot of complications that come with a hysterectomy, and a lot of women have a hard time letting go of their reproductive system. Like for me, I don't want kids, never have, never will, so I'm fine with it. It's no problem. But when I think about the women that do want children and thinking like how little options they have, it's like, seriously? Most of the treatments that we have prevent pregnancy. So what do those women do? So doctors' excuses for not giving me a hysterectomy is they're telling me I'm gonna die young because bone density or whatever. And it's like, dude, I just told you that I'm having suicidal thoughts and I don't want to live much longer, and yet you're over here telling me that you're worried that I'll die in my 40s if I get a hysterectomy. Like, you'd rather me die at suicide at 28 than from health complications at 40? Like, I'm not seeing how that's making any sense, but okay. So yes, I really hope that my awareness videos and posts I do on Facebook and all that get through to people. I have no shame, y'all. I'll tell anybody about my crazy ovaries. Like, I will tell anybody, okay? It just makes me so irritated. Like, and it's not just PMDD. All women's issues are just like, nobody cares. Nobody cares. And we're just expected to just deal with it. And when we beg out of desperation for doctors to just yank it all out, they want to tell us no, because apparently our whole purpose in life is just to bear children and nothing else matters. And why would they ever take away our ability to bear children? The horror. So yes, that is my second PMDD video. Will I ever be able to make a video about PMDD without getting angry or crying? Probably not. So I just want people to really understand that this is serious and that we just want answers. We just want a cure. That's all we want. We just want doctors to believe us and take us seriously and try to help us instead of trying to tell us that it's all in our head. So thank you for watching, both if you are somebody that suffers or somebody who just wants more information because they know somebody has it, or somebody who's even never heard of it before and just was like, what is PMDD? Thank you for watching and listening to what I had to say. Now I'm getting emotional. I'll link the other PMDD video down below. Why am I crying? Like I said, I can't get through any of these videos without crying. I really was gonna finish strong, but clearly I can't. So I'm gonna go to bed and yeah.